My next guest is Janelle Ozeran of Fresno Ideaworks, and we're going to be discussing a case for a makerspace in downtown Fresno. Welcome, Janelle.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. It's a little cooler today. I actually got some gardening done this morning, so that was good.
That's good. So for our viewers that hadn't read the article about makerspaces in downtown Fresno, can you give a little background about Ideaworks?
So makerspaces are community workshops. Every makerspace has a different personality. Some are for-profit, some are non-profit. There are actually 3 non-profit makerspaces in Fresno, and Fresno Ideaworks was sort of the first. We've been downtown on the same block between Broadway and H Streets and San Joaquin and Amador for 8 years. We bought our building at 1730 H Street exactly 2 years ago. And so what happens there is we are a nonprofit, all-volunteer, membership-driven community workshop. And what that means is that for individuals, for their membership, they have access to the whole facility, which includes wood shop, welding shop, machining, ceramics shop, textiles. We're in the process now of getting a forge and foundry going. Finally, there's been a big demand for that. We're getting a silk screening shop up and running, and electronics, including coding and robotics. So we do all of those things, and every member has the opportunity to participate in activity in the space, which includes classes, skill building in each of those areas, and access to all of the tools and machines once they've been through a safety orientation. And the whole point of a makerspace or a hackerspace, like root access in the Tower District, is to give people an opportunity not just to learn some new skills and get their hands dirty and make things, but also to be part of a community of like-minded makers, people who make things and who solve problems. So that's what Ideaworks is. We have a membership right now of about 110 individuals. We've lost about a little more than 15% of our membership because the whole facility was closed for a couple of months. We've reopened now to our members with restrictions. We're limiting the numbers of people in the shop, and the hours are limited, and face masks and distancing and all of that is in place, extra cleaning. But we have lost a few members, some because they're out of work themselves and have, even that $30 or $50 a month membership is too much for them, but we're trying to be supportive of those individuals too. And looking for new opportunities to serve our members, to serve the community, do some public activity online, though that's hard with hands-on stuff, and find new places where we can be part of the greater community. And so we've turned to manufacturing PPE. Some of our volunteer members have stepped in to do that in collaboration with Pie Shop, which is another makerspace next to the Rainbow Ballroom in the Peerless Building, and Root Access in the Tower. And that's been fun, but we don't want to be manufacturers. We want people to get back in there and get creative and do some of their own learning and problem solving. So we're looking forward to it. We're doing okay right now, but we've had to cancel all of our public classes for obvious reasons. We're doing a little bit of programming classes online, but that's it right now. So that's who we are.
And if our viewers wanted to reach out to you and connect to both help you in this current situation and work with you to potentially work on PPE, how would they reach you?
Anybody can email me directly. My email address, I don't know if you've got show notes. So my address would be Janelle O, JANELLEO, at FresnoIdeaworks.org, or info@FresnoIdeaworks.org, and that address is on our website, FresnoIdeaworks.org. We have various fundraising efforts out there too, one through GiveButter, which that particular fundraiser, which you so helpfully helped us promote, a portion of those funds also go to another nonprofit makerspace advocacy group called Nation of Makers, which helps with funding and troubleshooting and administrative stuff for makerspaces all over the world. Actually, now it began as an American deal, but they hold an annual conference every year. So that Give Butter campaign we've had some success with, but we'd like a little more attention. The reason that we're looking for extra support right now is because of the loss of revenue through postponed classes. That's a huge chunk of our revenue, and it's the biggest part of our mission, to teach people skills. So that's, and in addition, one of the things we'd like to get rebooted online, the only youth programs that we offer, a lot of people have this notion that makerspaces are places where children go to do arts and crafts and robotics. And that is true, but not all makerspaces do that. That's not what we do, except we have historically sponsored First Lego League robotics teams, and that's something that we can't do right now unless we get a good corporate sponsor to help us out. And our Coder Dojo is an international foundation that we partner with, which is a no-cost program for the families whose school-age children participate. And it's sort of a coding club for kids from 7 to 17 with any level or interest of coding experience to get together and learn to code through hands-on activities. And we need to reboot that as an online activity, partly to help support parents whose kids are not in school and who need a fun pseudo-academic activity to help them keep their brains going. And also because we want to. We've got loyal families who, we miss them and we miss the kids, and we want to get back together with them, even if it's just online. But we need sponsorships too to help us purchase some software licensing and things that we can then pass on to the families. So, and I'll be frank, in an ag industry, getting those kids really geared up to problem solving in creative ways and thinking about how robotics and electronics and coding are very relevant to local industry is something that we want to do. The makers of the future are the people who are going to keep our industry strong, and our local industries, keeping local geniuses in the community doing the work that we need them to do to build our industry. So those kids programs, we do need help with. We are looking for sponsors for those programs. We're looking for sponsorships of any amount, but we're also looking for people who are maybe hobbyists themselves, or who maybe whatever their role in the community is, whatever industry they're involved in, be it agriculture or horticulture or small family farming or not related to ag. What we offer as a community workshop is a place to come and be creative, maybe to prototype something that you use in your business, to improve a tool that you already use in your business, or just to get in there and make things, because there's such valuable therapy in that, especially right now. We have an unusual number of people right now asking for access to the ceramics shop, because the idea of getting in there and beating the crap out of a lump of clay feels really good right now, or pounding nails, or whatever it is that you want to do. Our PPE manufacturing has slowed down a little bit as local hospitals are finding new sources of hospital-grade PPE. Of course, a lot of that is manufactured overseas, so there's still issues with the actual, the pipeline there. The face shields that we manufactured in collaboration with Pie Shop, Fresno, and Root Access Hackerspace have all been distributed, and requests for those dropped off quite a bit, although as other businesses and smaller healthcare facilities see the advantage of using face shields in conjunction with masks to slow the spread of coronavirus through aerosols and droplets, that demand is going to return. And if schools reopen, certainly. We're still making cloth masks at Fresno Ideaworks. We're still accepting donations of materials, and we're happy to have volunteers too. In fact, we just gave about 130 masks to El Centro Binacional to distribute to farm workers locally. They're distributing thousands of masks weekly, and so we will keep producing those as much as we can. We offer those masks to anybody. We ask for a donation. We're not selling them, but donations to help replace, to help cover our costs is really helpful. Yeah, so that's what we're doing PPE wise right now. We have a pretty good stock of fabrics right now. We're out of elastic, we're out of thread. I just got a donation, so I was able to purchase more wires for nose pieces for more masks. But we've made and distributed more than 4,000 face shields, and I stopped counting face masks at about 2,000. So that's not huge, but again, we're an all volunteer operation, so it's just kind of goes in cycles as people get psyched up to start making more. But I do have a good little core of sewing volunteers who will keep plugging away as long as we keep getting requests. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now for PPE. And if we learn about other needs, we'll see what we can do.
Well, thank you to the Ideaworks community for serving its community. Is there any way that you think that manufacturers could get involved and maybe sponsor their employees? I know right now it's very packed for work for manufacturers because they are an essential industry. Do you think that they could potentially work with you to sponsor their employees to offer them a career-based but also creative outlet?
Yeah, for sure. In fact, we have a couple of members who originally came to Ideaworks because their employers needed something specific built in the wood shop in those cases, and didn't have their own wood shops. So they came to Ideaworks, they built their specialty cabinets or whatever it was they were doing. One guy's from a local video production company, and that's exactly what they needed, was some cabinetry to fit in a very specific spot in the studio with specialized compartments. And he had such a good time and became so friendly with a lot of our community, which is the whole point, and got the help he needed in addition to access to the tools, that he bought his own membership after those projects were finished. And he's become a very active member. He's also a welder and is creating an art piece now that will be installed in our lobby, which is so cool because that's a gift from him in addition. But yes, we don't specifically have a business or professional level membership. We do everything we can to keep our memberships very low so that any individual can afford them, which of course that's not true. Everybody can't afford everything they want, but currently our individual membership is $50 a month. There is a discounted membership for veterans and seniors and people who live outside of Fresno or Madera counties. But that $50 a month is generally very affordable for a business who needs an employee to come in to do some skill building or to work on a specific project, or for a small business person who doesn't have some of the tools they need. They can't run their business out of our shop or use our address, but they can certainly come in and use the facility to do some small manufacturing, or to learn something they need to improve their product or build their cabinet or whatever it is. Yeah. So yes, there are no restrictions on membership, and certainly if there were a demand for a professional membership or business membership, that's something that our teams could get together and explore. Yeah. And we're always happy to have more experts in there, because one of the things we say, and I know I've said this to you because I say it all the time, we like to say that none of us are experts in the makerspace, but we're all experts. We all have something to share with somebody else, and it's that exchange of knowledge that makes the makerspace such a valuable place and such a fun place. Yeah, it's I love it. I love Ideaworks so much I can't even begin to tell you. It can be very frustrating because since we're all volunteers, we just can't do all the things we want to do. And we don't always have the right volunteer in the right place to do something as smoothly as we'd like to, maybe. But it's a community of huge hearts and amazing creativity and generosity like I've never seen with any other organization I've ever been part of. So I would welcome anyone to come check it out. One thing we can do right now still is give individual tours. We can't give group tours, obviously, but we're happy to have someone from a company or another organization drop in, look around, ask questions. And we can be very accommodating about that for sure.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Janelle. And if our viewers want to check out more, they can always look at the article that we posted on all of our social media channels and on our website about a case for makerspace in downtown Fresno, and check out their Give Butter so that we can keep Fresno Ideaworks providing services to our community.
Yay! And we've got a Facebook page too. Check us out.
Thank you, Janelle.
Thank you, Tara.
Our sponsor is Industrial Equipment Repair with Darren Gibbs Industrial Services. Reach them at 559-351-3280 or contact at darrengibbs.com. They provide repair to welders, air tools, cold saw, blade sharpening, overhead lifting equipment, torches and regulators, plasma cutters, hydraulic cylinders, repaired and manufactured. Make sure to check out their website for their equipment for sale at www.valley.equipment.